That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, what is up, my fam? We are back for another episode of the Weekly Roundup. I'm your host, as always, Steve, being joined to the right of me, Mr. Zach Barrett. What is up this afternoon, this evening, wherever everyone's from tonight? How you feeling tonight, brother? How you feeling?
I was feeling much better before Vince Velasquez just walked the first two batters of this inning and then just threw a 50-footer on the first pitch for Dansby Swanson. Good Lord.
How did I know you were going to start off with some Vinny V hate?
Because you know what?
Vinny V hate. We can't even get into the reach yet.
And he couldn't lay down a bunt in the first inning. So you know what? That already annoys the shit out of me. In the second inning, he couldn't lay down a bunt. Pissed off.
Oh man! All right, well, we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna be talking some Phillies. We're gonna be talking some Sixers. Sixers are doing their things right now against the Pistons. We're gonna be talking a little MMA. UFC Fight Night is on. Kyle Dawkins should be walking out any minute now. I think his fight got bumped up because the Angela Hill and Amanda Ribas fight got canceled because Amanda tested positive for COVID, or she says it could be a false positive. I don't know. We'll see. All I'm saying, if you're not watching right now, turn on ESPN ESPN app. Watch Kyle Dawkins get ready to do his work. On top of that, we're also going to be joined by UFC veteran, current Invicta FC fighter, and newly signed Bare Knuckle FC fighter. Pearl Gonzalez is going to be joining us. That should be a fun one. She's actually in New York right now. She's been training with World Boxing Champion Amanda Serrano, getting ready for that BKFC debut. So that should be fun. Looking forward to hearing from her. Zach, you want to get ready for this thing, or what's up?
Oh yeah, man. You know, let's take a break from Vinny V and this fucking disaster show, and let's talk about something that isn't a disaster, and that's eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, looking for a change in career or brokerage, you contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820, or you can visit him at alan.foy@exprealty.com. He's not going to steer you wrong. One of the best dudes in the business, just getting that, his career going with all that, and
what's
it's
up,
kicking ass like everything else that he does. So I'm glad that he's with us here at A2D, known the guy a long time. Pitch.
And of course, Tom's going to agree to the poll. Look at us. We're doing the thing right now. I think the Phillies are up, 3-0? Sixers are doing the thing
There's
right
runners
now.
in first and second, nobody out though, and Vinny V's doing everything he can.
What's up, Big Pete?
Fucking
Bryce is in the house. All right, so as far as my opinion right now, I thought we were gonna have at least one of these we would feel different about, but the fact that Phillies are up 3-0 right now might have to sit there and say I might have to agree that we stick with it. I thought the Sixers would be the winner, Phillies might be the loser. Might have to disagree with it, but I don't know.
It's
we
the
have to. I
second
think
inning, bro. A lot of baseball left.
Oh, plenty of baseball left to play. Come on, especially with this Phillies bullpen. Let's be honest, but.
3-2 now to Swanson. He's in danger of walking the bases loaded with nobody out, Steven.
And speaking of which, what are your thoughts on this run they're on right now? Outside of the game, like listen, we talked a lot about this team and heading into the season. Me and you were debating win totals right now. I know you're really excited about how this offense has looked over the last 5 to 7 days. So,
if they click like this offensively on a pretty consistent basis, they're going to be very, very hard to beat in the National League in general, not just the National League East. But they went close to a month without winning back-to-back games, right? And you knew that wasn't going to continue. You could kind of see them. You know what I really liked during that stretch when there was games in there that were really close that they had a chance to win and didn't. you could see the urgency. You could hear the urgency in their voice, how they talked about, listen, we were a game out of the playoffs last year. All these things where it's like they feel and they're acting as if they know they're a playoff team and that the expectations, it's playoffs or bust. There is, they're acting and talking and carrying themselves like a team that feels as if they're very good and can make a deep run. There you go, Vinny V. 3-2, blew a fastball past him. That's big. So
Jake's with us. Jake's with me right now. He's agreeing to the poll. Thinks we're going to keep it rolling.
Nola's fine at the top of the rotation. Zach Wheeler just pitched a gem the other night, right? This is where we're going to start. We got Vinny V in the rotation. Chase Anderson. I mean, just guys that we're not Chase Anderson. What the fuck's his name? Whoever the fuck the dude is that pitches for us. Chase Anderson. I think's his fucking name. Whatever. That's how bad he is. I don't even want him in my rotation, right? But it's that's where we're a little bit worried, and we keep talking about we needing to go make a deal of some kind and bring in, if you can get a third guy where you're like, this is a top of the rotation type arm, we're gonna be really, really tough to beat. But yeah, I mean, we could get hot, and I think this is a team that when they get hot, you got a bunch of guys like Harper and Hoskins, that they kind of carry this team. Bohm even's that way. Real Muto, where they carry this team where like once they get hot, they kind of smell themselves a little bit, right? And there's a little bit of energy and swagger that comes with those guys when you get on a winning streak and start playing good baseball. And I love that in a team. And I think that's what makes a team really, really hard to beat once they get going. Is they all kind of feel that same way, and you can kind of see it in their personalities. We got a bunch of those guys that nothing they enjoy more than winning, right? Like that's like there's nothing they hate more than losing and nothing they enjoy more than winning. And I love it right now. You're seeing it. This is what it's all about. This is what we were hoping we were going to have with this Phillies team coming into the year. This is the team that's gotten you think Red October, right? And okay, get a little excited for it. They look the part, and they even, there was times where they looked the part even in that first month where they didn't win back-to-back games. When we were just talking about, look how many games they've given away. Look how many blown opportunities. Look at all the extra outs they've given other teams. Right? Those are things that you can change.
Oh, man. Dave's taking shots at you already.
I don't look anything like Zac Efron.
Why?
It's not even a good
Why
one.
is it every time we come on here, every week, you're being referred to?
I mean, my girlfriend loves Zac Efron. Like, let me be honest. The wifey loves Zac Efron. And even she would be like, that's not even good. Like, that's like, I look nothing like him.
Let's go, Wilson. I'm just thinking at the end of the year, then we should go back and find some of these ones that have like highlight reels. So your reaction to some of the names you're being called, bro. Because I mean, what we had, you had Skeet.
If there's one good thing here, it's Vinny V's almost at 40 pitches. We're not even out of the second inning, so he's not going to go more than 4 or 5. So my headache won't come back. Let's hope. I had a headache all day long. And, I'm pretty sure watching this guy pitch, much longer is going to, it's going to bring it back. So,
but yeah, we're getting ready.
On the order here, 7, 8, 9. It's 2-2 to the 7 hitter. Another 3-2 count.
Zac Efron. Well, then what's the difference? The bank account's probably the only difference then. If
I had Zac Efron's money and I look like Zac Efron, wouldn't you be an asshole? I'd be like, fuck everybody too. Like, yo, I'm Zac fucking Efron. I'm good looking. I'm rich. I plowed the bitches from High School Musical. Like, fuck you. 3-2.
Oh, man.
Walking. Oh, they say he went. Wow, got him. Nice.
So one headache less inning. Is that half done or no? Or was that two? I thought that was 3.
He swung, but I didn't think they were going to call that. Yeah, that's a swing. No. Oh,
I think they just did the opening announcements for Dawkins and Hall, so that should be going on any minute. And I think it should be switching back. It should be switching back over to ESPN too. What's that?
Bases loaded, 1 out, and first and second 2 outs. Huge difference, right? I mean, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, the outs.
You got the 8-hole hitter up here. You got the 8-hole hitter up here with first and second 2 outs. Now you could realistically walk this guy and still find your way out of the inning without giving up a run because the pitcher's on deck. Which with Vinny V, It's definitely a possibility that you could walk the 8-hole hitter, right? Definitely. He might hit him in the back here with a fucking.
Are you ever gonna let him have a halfway decent outing without burying him?
No, he had a halfway decent outing without getting buried last time out. He doesn't get nowhere like that. It's
not two in
he
a row.
walked the first 2 batters of the inning, Steven. You get buried when you're a pitcher that does that. Oh, here we go. Base hit. Nope, got it. I think you're that a boy. Okay. Well, we're out of the inning.
Say all that venom for what? For what?
See, he knew. He whipped it into shape in a hurry.
Let's continue the streaks. Absolutely, Frank. We got this. Got this. Don't let negative Nancy over here fool you. We got this.
No, I like this Phillies team. I just don't like Vince Velasquez.
Yeah, wait. There you go. Jason tuning in on the. Listen, we're not sitting there saying he's. I'm not sitting there saying he's no good pitcher or great pitcher or anything like that. I'm just sitting there saying that we know what he is at this point in time. So why waste the energy?
So why do my rotation if we know what he is? You know what Vinny is? You know what he is? He's a rally killer. Vinny Velasquez is a rally killer. When you're a team like you talk about that's on a 5-game winning streak, he's the guy that comes out and lays an egg and you get smoked and you're like, well, so much for all that momentum we had. This guy just fucking killed it. That's what Vinny V is. Can't stand him. Like if I was his teammate, I'd want to punch him in his fucking mouth.
Molly Miles in the house.
You come out and drop an egg.
We didn't see Molly last week, so we didn't get the Cowboys' heads thoughts on the draft. So, what's up, Molly? I know. I seen you tuning in during the draft. Are you ready for the circus that's already going to be your team? Because I'm already hearing rumors that Mike is running people the wrong way.
I just think that the Cowboys don't like anybody. Like he's probably not kissing Jerry Jones's ass, and Jerry doesn't like it. He's like, this kid needs to learn some respect. Like, no, this kid just fuck you. Like that. This kid, the fuck. We know where this kid came from in his background. He's not gonna kiss Jerry Jones's ass.
Maybe it's not Jerry. Maybe it's one of the players or some of the players. Remember, first thing came out of Zeke's mouth was like, "Don't touch me during practice." He said, "I can't make no promises."
I mean, that sounds more like a Zeke problem. I don't know who's got the issue.
Yeah, I think y'all did good too. For real, I'm not.
I don't know. I like that kid, but you know what?
If you go back and look at our
the wrong way, you know that sounds like the dudes are like a real football player, somebody that like he'll punch you in the mouth and not give a fuck. And I don't know, like the Cowboys all of a sudden have turned into a bunch of prima donnas. In the past 20 years, they no longer play football. They just that's all about the image. That's down. Let's go. That's been down all goddamn game.
All right, well, Dawkins is in the cage. Let's go. Let's go, Philly. Back on ESPN. I'm surprised. If you're not watching this, I already know the first thing you'd be saying about Phil Hall's hair.
I'm watching Bryce about to get ejected is what I'm watching.
Oh, boy. Do we got to flip it back? No. I'm gonna stay there. You give me the 4. You give me and the fans the 4-1-1. while we watch Philly's own about to do his thing.
I mean, I've just saying the first pitch of the at bat is a good 3 or 4 inches below the knee, and it was called a strike. And the pitch down, he hasn't been given the pitch down either way for the first couple innings, and all of a sudden it's a strike on Bryce. I wonder why.
We already know different
like these umpires. You almost feel like some of them like the idea, like, oh, here's a guy I can trigger. Let me see if I can trigger him. You know what I mean? Like,
umpire exerting his dominance wouldn't be totally unheard of.
93 fastball, belt high. Bryce swings through.
Didn't even take 20 seconds for Dawkins to get kicked in the freaking pills. Of course, he shakes it off.
He's late.
Who's late? The pitches are late, or the swings are late.
Bryce, it was late on that fastball. It wasn't even that good on a fastball. I don't know why he's late. It's 93 belt high. Maybe he thought it was going to be a breaking ball or something. I don't know, but he swung right through it.
A little bit over a minute in, and they're still feeling each other out. Oh, Hall's got Dawkins down. He's in half guard. So what else is on your mind tonight too? But because obviously me and you can't be sitting there both sitting there trying to.
Why not? People are digging it. They're like, hey, let's all watch the games together.
Yeah.
2-1 is in the dirt, so it's 3-1 to Real Muno. Okay. Gio Molly thinks that the Cowboys did good in the draft. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah. Kyle's already reversed the position, try to go for a submission now. He's on top in half control. In half guard with head and arm control on top, looking to try to pass to work a submission, and Halls pulls him back down. He's like, nope, not having any of that. Nope.
Here, Alec Boehm had another professional at bat his first time up. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh. Hall tries to push the Dawkins off. Now he has him on his back. Now they're back to their feet.
Harper was on third base. There was one out, and Boehm hit a ground ball to the right side that knocked in the run. Just an RBI ground out, but that's good baseball. Now I look for something to drive here.
Yeah.
Be a good time for him to pop one.
What about you? What about the Sixers run they're on? You think we're gonna round it out, clinch that number one overall, regardless of who rests or doesn't the next handful of games, or less than a handful of games rather?
Yeah, I mean, I think this was expected from the Sixers. They're everything we expected them to be.
I mean,
right?
it's literally, literally me and you are kind of like we're pretty much going to be not really like super invested until now. So we're here. we're within a week or so before playoffs are going to get underway. It looks like they're going to have the number one seed. That's why they're
resting guys like Simmons tonight and all that. I'll tell you what, I'll probably be watching. I'll be watching like playoff basketball, bro. Like I'm glued to the TV. Like there's nothing like it.
Oh,
because that's when the effort level finally goes through the roof. You know what I mean? That's when guys really are playing, the best defense they possibly can and giving their max effort. Because that's where all the money's made. All the eyes, you got like so many more viewers and all that. Like I actually feel like it's a good product. Sometimes you watch some of these NBA games in the regular season, it's so watered down. You just like it ruins it for you. And like so, and then obviously. I don't really get a ton of national games down here with the good teams, right? Like I get like Orlando and Miami teams. Like Miami's good, but like I get my local teams in Florida, right? Like I'm excited to be able to watch all the good teams, all the playoff series teams I've been able to watch all year. Dude, the two guys that are in the MVP race that are going to run away with the MVP award, Jokic or Chris Paul. I mean, I really haven't been able to watch either one of them. For the most part this year because I don't get to see any other games.
There's still people that thinking that they feel Joe's played enough games, man.
I listen, and I know Barkley just came out and said it. I told you, I've been telling you this for a few weeks now. Regardless of whether we agree with it or not, this is just the way it works. You don't miss that many games and win the MVP. You just don't. It's not the way it works. Not when other guys have had similarly high level seasons. Like it's just the way the system works. If everybody else had a down year and he's the only guy that had like a crazy good year, maybe, but that's not the way this is. Like Jokic has had an MVP type year. Chris Paul has, I mean, literally when I could probably make an argument that Chris Paul should be the MVP because when you look at what the Suns have done, they haven't made the playoffs in 11, 12 years or whatever. He comes in there and does Chris Paul things and all of a sudden they're one of the best teams in basketball. That's what the MVP is supposed to be, is it not? Like the Nuggets were already a playoff team.
Don's back in the house. Like we're not gonna beat the Pistons tonight. Are you serious, brother?
Well, it looks like we're going to beat them now. No, I mean it's
Well, it's all right, 58-43.
I'm less concerned with Joel winning the MVP award. Like, who gives a fuck at this point? If we're gonna go, like, say we go to the NBA Finals and he wins the Finals MVP and we win the championship. Excuse me, I'm burping over here after drinking some Mountain Dew and some beer. But if we
there's a hell of a combination, Mountain Dew and beer.
There you go. There you go. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like, man, who gives a fuck? Would you rather him win the MVP award, or would you rather go win the NBA Finals and then walk away with a Finals MVP?
I'll say it like this: I'll take him not winning the regular season MVP. I already said I thought we were going to bring home hardware.
I'm cool with I'm cool with AI being the last Sixers player to win an MVP award. I'm cool with that. Like,
I don't know. Do you think it's a reality that either Matisse or Ben could win Defensive Player of the Year, or just they're not going to do it?
I think Ben is Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I mean, like, when Ben Simmons comes out and says I'm the best defensive player in basketball, I don't, it's hard to argue against that.
In the house. Chuck's in the house. Of course he agrees to poll, man. Of course he agrees to poll. Since Chuck's is here, what do he's Mr. Running Back. What do you thought on picking up the garbage from Detroit?
Well, listen, that garbage is better than anything else we had on this roster. Jordan Howard and Boston Scott stink.
I already saw. Me and you have been talked about this at nauseum that we need to see less of Boston Scott on on the field and more like in a special team role or situational type plays and stuff like that. Other than that, I'd rather see other people get actual handoffs. I think he, unless we're talking like screens and things of that nature, where you get him outside where he makes a difference in that way. I agree. I don't want to see Boston. Don't get me. I love him. I call him the little bandit, man. He's a gadget.
Well, watch Ben go off come playoff time and be a guy that turns into like a double machine. You know what I mean?
Now that's what I ask of you. Who do you think? Like, now we're talking about players tuning it up, turning it up, and really showing out the
NBA championship. And Ben Simmons has some type of great playoff run where he averages a double during that time. Ain't nobody gonna bitch and whine and complain about anything Ben Simmons does anymore. He'll be the Defensive Player of the Year. He would have just showed off in the playoffs. What? Like, this is going to be his time. Like, we talk about Matisse Thybulle. Thybulle was a great defender, right? But Ben Simmons can play 40 minutes and he can cover 1 through 5 on the court for all 40 minutes. Like, whoever you need to shut down at that point, whoever's the guy that hey, he's the guy they're going to go to try to score right now, Ben Simmons can go shut him down. And he can do it for a full 35, 40 minutes, however long he needs to play. Matisse Thybulle is going to do it for 20 minutes. Matisse Thybulle is going to shut down one guy. I don't know if Matisse Thybulle. I don't know. I know for a fact Matisse Thybulle can't defend 1 through 5 on the court for a full game the way that Ben Simmons can. Simmons is the Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think there's any question about that. It's disrespectful, I think, for him to not win the award at this point. People talk about Rudy Gobert should be the guy that wins and Rudy Gobert this and Rudy Gobert that, and then what happens, right? And then Ben Simmons goes and scores 42 against Rudy Gobert. And I know they lost that game. Who cares? That's not really the point in that conversation when you're talking about Defensive Player of the Year. How are you going to be Defensive Player of the Year when you let Ben Simmons score 42 against you? Like, come on, man. Like, Ben Simmons not even a scorer, and I'm the Defensive Player of the Year. Ben Simmons scored 42 again. That ain't the Defensive Player of the Year. And nobody has ever – I don't think there's ever been a player in Ben Simmons' career that's put up 42 against him. There might not be a player that's ever put up 32 against Ben Simmons.
I mean, I think you'll see some of your vets kind of really showing it. I think Joe's going to really show it. He's already shown us when he comes playoff time, he does hit beast mode. No one could take that from that. If you get that from Ben, Tobias, and a couple of these vets and a couple of these young guys, we very well could be talking about a Sixers NBA championship. I don't want to get ahead of myself. You still have a lot of teams out there with that are more than capable of beating this team on any given night. The question is, which one of these young guys you really think will show up? Is it going to be guys like Matisse or Maxey, or is it or is it going to be more? Or is it more going to be some of your veterans are gonna really kind of take the reins in the playoffs?
I think the team's clicking on all cylinders. I love the way they're playing in general right now. I think the big conversation this year, as opposed to other years, is if there's a year to go win an NBA championship, this is the year to go steal it and make it happen. The Lakers are down. LeBron's hurt.
Yeah, even like remember we were talking about with when we had Jermaine Jones on, like the Nets will wind up putting it together, if not this year, within a year or two. So if you're the Sixers, yeah, the window's now. Do it now. The Lakers are down, the Clippers are down. Like you know what I mean.
The Suns might be your biggest challenge, right? You could beat the Suns. You can beat the Nuggets.
Oh man, Book is playing out of his mind, man.
He is, but he's not going up against Ben Simmons for a 7-game series, right? That's what you talk about. Like, you want to talk about defensive player of the year type stuff. Oh man, it would be great to see Ben Simmons just take Devin Booker's lunch money every goddamn day, every damn game of that series. You'd be like, hey, Chris Paul, like.
You really want to
just that this series by yourself, because
that's the matchup you want. It's starting to sound like that's the matchup you want if the Sixers go to the NBA Finals. It sounds like you want bet.
And how can you lose to the Suns? Like, you can't lose to that's just that is not physically conceivable. That
I'm not saying you can't lose to the Suns. What I'm saying is that's starting to sound like the matchup you actually want, though. From this fire that we're hearing about, this Devin Booker versus Ben Simmons.
That would be fun. I mean, that's a great matchup. And they don't have any. Do they have anybody that can like?
But that's the thing. Outside of that, all right, you take away that matchup.
Who's shutting down Embiid on that team? Nobody. They got that Ayton kid, right? DeAndre Ayton, that was drafted number 1 a few years back. Oh my God, you want to talk about lunch money? Joel Embiid's going to be taking that. He's like, that you want the matchups. You're going to have Ben Simmons shutting down Devin Booker, and you're going to have Joel Embiid just flat out dominating. And you're going to feel bad for that kid by the end of the series. The only person for Phoenix that's going to be doing anything is going to be Chris Paul, and he's not going to be able to do enough by himself to win it. Booker's going to be shut down. They don't have a big man that can match up with Embiid, and we got the better role players.
The question is, do the Suns come out of the West?
Well, the Nuggets, they're a good team, but Murray not playing kills them, right? Like they're such a better team with Jamal Murray, and now, they don't have him. You got the Trailblazers, obviously. Maybe this is the year. Maybe Dame finally with the Trailblazers. They finally make, some type of noise out there. The Steph. There's not. The Western Conference doesn't necessarily have the Suns, I guess, are the one team you say they're a dominant team out there. But even them, you're like, you don't necessarily feel like they're a super team by any means. The way Steph's playing, who's the fuck to say the Warriors can't go beat anybody in a 7-game series out there right now, right? Like, Steph's dropping 35 every night. Like, they've proven tough to beat. Speaking of people who should be in the MVP conversation, I've been saying that for a couple. Steph Curry should be in the MVP conversation. What he's done to carry Golden State to the playoffs by himself is fucking incredible. The other night, what he did, the only other 2 people to have that many 35-point games in a season were Michael and Kobe. He joined Elite Company. The dude's how old? He's 32, 33, whatever, and he's playing at a higher level than maybe he's ever played in his entire career. It's insane. It's insanity what he's doing out there. He's not going to win the MVP because, for whatever reason in the NBA, like, you got to be like, they're not a good enough team. Like, I don't really give a fuck. They'd be the worst team in basketball if he wasn't playing. You know what I mean? Like, that for me, like, that's why I say Chris Paul, same thing with Phoenix. Phoenix is struggling to make the playoffs without Chris Paul. All of a sudden, Chris Paul's there, and now they're a 2 seed. And
Hall's dog is just still battling. Hall's just kind of got Kyle down. He's just cut him with an elbow.
Is there a team in the East that can? Brooklyn obviously.
That's the question. We've either matched up well or beaten the teams that could possibly beat us, right?
Yeah, I mean Brooklyn's obviously
I-
that team everybody's looking at, and I would love to stick it to Brooklyn. Let's go like a series of Brooklyn. Let's go whip their ass and be like, all right, like it's our year, and then whoever we got to face in the finals. I think if you beat Brooklyn in the Eastern Conference, there's nobody coming out of the West that you're like, okay, like look what we just went through in the Eastern Conference. Like bring it on, like you know what I mean. We're gonna kick your ass too. Like there ain't nobody in the Western Conference is as good as Brooklyn. Nobody.
Now, does Milwaukee scare you at all?
Of course, I mean. You know, Giannis is a freak of nature, so of course they scare you. But I don't look at any of those teams and say in a 7-game series they should be able to beat us. They just shouldn't. You know, Giannis and Embiid, that's a fun matchup. Who else does Milwaukee have? Like, who do they have where you're like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing out like that's what they got Giannis. They've gone and tried to add a bunch of other guys where you're just like none of them really scare you. None of them are sexy. You know what I mean? Like.
Cromer hopping in here. You know, Sixers had the second easiest schedule in the league down the stretch. Great opportunity to build momentum and more confidence moving into the playoffs. Like, listen, I don't even think it's about the confidence. It's just about we see what there are right now. Like we've been sitting there saying all year. Like, listen, you know, this team looks like an Eastern Conference championship chip team. They look like it. You haven't really seen too much from the Nets to kind of really show you that they're capable of doing that. You know,
that's the team I forgot about. Team I forgot about. The Jazz. What? You know, the Jazz. That's with Donovan Mitchell. I mean, that's
and there's the matchup you probably would have to be more intent on watching.
That if you're going to say who's the most likely team, the Jazz might be the best team in the West all the way around. Rudy Gobert, obviously, Mitchell can score, and you've already kind of got the little rivalry there from all the shit talking earlier in the year when Simmons scored 42 on Rudy Gobert, and they're supposed to be they're the defensive players of the year. You know, that's a good little fun matchup there to have in the finals.
Hopping in on fucking YouTube now too. That's a rough one. I don't think. I think Phil Hall's wound up getting a decision from Dawkins here. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm wrong. How them Phillies doing?
Have the best record in basketball in all of the NBA. 46-18 or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah, the Sixers are up like 16 now.
Yeah,
about a little bit over 5 minutes left in the third. Excuse me. But yeah, at this point in time, how them Phillies doing? What do you got over there?
It's 3-0 Phils. Atlanta coming to the plate.
What was it? Was it about the 5th by now?
Yeah, I think they're in the 4th. Ian Anderson just struck out the side.
All right, now they're back up 18. Toby's got 16-4-4 right now. I mean, do you really think when it all boils down to the bench and like your key role players will be if the Sixers can make a run and secure a championship? You know, your Dwight Howards, your Danny Greens, your Seth Currys. Are these the guys going to make the difference for the Sixers?
Well, those are always the guys that end up making the biggest difference down the stretch, aren't they? And it's the guy that somebody always steps up. Andre Iguodala is the guy that, as good as that Warriors team was with Steph and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, it ends up being Andre Iguodala one year that ends up being the guy that, saves everything.
And who's the other guy that we just picked up fairly recently that we're still trying to work in here that really hasn't gotten a chance to get any minutes or real playing time? The guy Hill? Was it George Hill, right?
Yes, yeah, the point guard, yeah.
Yeah, he's the other one. We're trying to get a feel on what he's gonna be or what he's gonna do for this team.
Vinny V hasn't allowed a hit.
I also think that the Dwight Howard needs to be careful of the nonsense fouls in the playoffs. That's been killing them during the season.
Yeah. It's always killed him his whole career, right? Technicals and all that. But yeah, he's definitely going to be a guy as he's able to spell Joel Embiid that'll be very important come playoff time. The production that he can give us. He can play at a somewhat high level.
I mean, I think he's been vital for us for load management or just keeping Joe's minutes down so he could be fresh for the playoffs. But you gotta wonder, man, right?
Yeah. Ozuna
So it's 80-65 now. Shake just bricked another three.
They're showing the Phillies' big three this season: Nola, Wheeler, and Zach Eflin. And Eflin's pitched really well. That's why, we keep coming back to adding that other arm. If you could add another top of the rotation type guy and Eflin's your 4, oh my God, dude, your rotation is filthy all of a sudden with Eflin as your 4. Having Eflin as your 3 and then 2 question marks though as your 4 and 5 is killing us.
You want that third arm so bad, dude. So bad.
I mean, if the only question mark in my rotation is
listen, would you live with what you have right now, right? If you could get yourself the middle reliever that this team obviously so desperately needs.
No, I think we need a third big time starter more than we need a middle reliever.
I think we're gonna have a poll question for the fam next week that we get it all out there.
He becomes that middle reliever, right? Like Spencer Howard, I guess I'm happy with this situation if they put Spencer Howard in my rotation permanently.
I mean, it's still too early to sit there and be nitpicking at the roster. We have to see what this team actually is yet. I mean, really,
I know what Vinny V is. I know what Chase Anderson is. I know what Matt Moore is. I know what any of these bums that are pitching in the rotation.
Well, this is what they tried out this. We already knew this.
And Eflin are.
We already knew this is what they were jamming down our throats, bro. Come on.
Yeah, but now we're too good of a team. Like you can't afford this is one of those situations where who in the front office is convinced that Vinny V or Chase Anderson or Matt Moore is giving our team a better chance to win than Spencer Howard every 5th day. And if they're really that convinced that that's the case, then I don't need Spencer Howard in the minors. I need to trade him ASAP as a part of a deal to, him and Mickey Moniak can be the lead part of the deal. Mickey needs a fresh start. There's a team that'll still view him as a high enough prospect where, if Howard and Moniak are the 2 lead guys in that deal, and then you got 2 other, lower minor league guys, it's enough to bring back a very quality starting pitcher, top of the rotation type guy. Who's on the market? Who's available? Who can you trade for is the question.
Oh, that's always the question. That's right? That's obviously why we're in this situation, brother.
No, I think we're in this situation because they decided it was better to. I mean, in the offseason, also, they were hit a little bit by whatever the budget says they might have to be after losing all the money from COVID season. But by the time you get to the deadline here and you're a first place team and all this revenue's coming in, you see the writing on the wall that, hey, if we make this move, all of a sudden it wins us, a playoff series and we make a playoff run. Look at all the money that we get because of it, and it becomes worth it. I mean, the idea of what you needed to do in the offseason compared to what you can do now, it might be different. Maybe the situation's changed, Maybe they didn't feel like they had the resources to go out and do that, back in January, but they feel like they can do it, now. They don't want to do it in January if
I don't know. I mean, I guess you can think of it like that, but at the same time, dude, you knew this is what the situation they were in, regardless of they were trying to penny pinch and COVID this and cry about that, and this is still the same front office that said, stupid money and all this other freaking nonsense. Well,
and outside of Trevor Bauer, there wasn't really like a top of the rotation starter type guy on the market in that way. So your options of going out and signing one really wasn't there. You knew Bauer probably wasn't going to sign here, right? So that option wasn't there. But, and the idea of maybe trading for somebody, is that a foul ball? Foul ball. Fair ball. Now McCutcheon's hurt. McCutcheon just crashed into the wall.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Who told Captain Fragile he can go into the wall?
It is a fair ball. Oh, well, because the ball went off his wrist.
Oh, well,
so
that makes better sense.
That, or is he hurt because he crashed into the wall?
The ball off the wrist would make more sense at this point in time.
Girardi's out to look at him with the trainer. McCutcheon. Look like McCutcheon told him, like, no, like, I'm not coming out of this game. Like, I'm good.
No. We're good. I could turn it. Except when I swing you.
Kind of like gave him one of those pats on the back, like, thank you. Like, I'm not in a position to really have to, like, I need you to stay in this game type of thing,
At least we can't take you out yet. Give me like 3 or 4 more innings.
Dude, look at Uncle Ron coaching third base. It's Ron Washington.
Oh, God.
Dude, he's got to be like 80 now. Wonder if he's still snorting coke.
Dude. Because we have to go there. Because we have to go there. Is
that not a fair question?
It might be, but is it a fair question right now?
I mean, hell, I'm not judging him or anything. I was just wondering, like, hey, man.
I mean, I'm not saying you're judging
him. Having a good
anything.
time or what? Have we gotten that under control? Or are we still having a good time?
No, man, but that's a conversation you and him have privately. I mean, what the
Uncle
hell
Ron
is that?
Still the life of the party?
You airing him out. You airing him out. That's not the buddy thing to do.
Nobody cares. He's like 80 now. They're like, hell, get it, Uncle Ron. Do it.
I didn't say anyone would care, but you just don't air my man's business out like that. That's guy code, man. Come on, what are you doing?
Guy code. Ron Washington's too old to even know what the hell a guy code is.
He walked him last time. He was already down freaking 2 pitches to him. Here we go again. So you think he's going to finally give up this run here?
Close. Like, it's a 2-0 count. Let me throw a 55-footer. Like, he's like the most frustratingly effective pitcher ever.
What was Larry Anderson then? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Larry Anderson, I mean, at least Larry Anderson didn't make you want to punch him in the face. And Larry Anderson had an excuse. He was like 40.
Was there another Phillies pitcher that got under your skin the way Vinny V does? Like, I gotta find out.
Let's see. When was the last time a Phillies pitcher? Who was the last Phillies pitcher to get under my skin in that way? Let me see. That's a good question.
I mean, at this point in time, is Vinny V your favorite Philly athlete to hate?
No, because I don't even think like I don't like. Well, the only time I think about him is when he's playing. Like outside of that, like I don't even think.
I know, I know what you mean. Like, well, because he's a pitcher.
Well, I don't even like outside of that. Like he's irrelevant to me. Like I don't even think I should. Oh, he's my favorite athlete to hate. Like why? Why would I waste my time hating Vinny V? Like you know what I mean? Like
You spew more
I
hate
just
about him
talk
than
shit.
anyone recently.
I just talk shit when he pitches. Like outside, like if he's not pitching, I'm not going to talk shit. But like,
Big Greg's in the house.
I don't hate the guy. I just hate the fact that he's on my team. Like,
Gregor Gillespie and Diego Ferreira.
actually, it's not even that. It's not even that, dude. I hate the fact that he's in my rotation. Like, if he was a guy that pitched in the 5th, 6th, 7th innings of games, if he was a guy that found a role in the bullpen somewhere, like, great, you need guys that have good stuff that can get guys out in your bullpen. But like, I'm frustrated.
That's not reality right now. Well, aren't we all? Aren't we all, brother? See? Georgie popping and saying you got that 2 outs. There you go.
It makes me want to do. It gives me gas.
Gives you gas. Jesus Christ, brother.
I've always thought he had back into the bullpen type stuff, like 7th, 8th inning, type stuff. But what was it, a couple years back where he's like, I don't want to pitch in the bullpen. I'm not a bullpen pitcher. Bro, like you're barely a
Dwight Howard just took the ugliest 3-pointer I've probably seen in a year or so.
Here we go, 2-0. 2-0 to the 7 hole, to the 7 hitter. Two-0 breaking ball. Can't control my fastball. Let's throw a 2-0 breaking ball. Hector Neris scares you? Yeah, I mean,
and Matisse ends the quarter with a steal.
Out of the inning again.
See?
Ground ball to shortstop. They flip it to second, and we're out of the inning again.
You know who was effectively irritating to watch? Brett Myers.
Yeah, that could be very frustrating at times because you knew the thing that was frustrating with Brett was you knew how good his stuff could be. You're like, dude, like you've got legit top end of the rotation stuff, and there was a 1 year he had an ERA of like 5.3 or something. In 2004, he had an ERA of like 5.12 or something crazy. Like you were like, how? Why? Like, why do you suck this bad? You're like 23. We thought you were going to take this next step and become this big, top of the rotation stud. And I think we figured out that year he's going to be a guy, but he'll never be anything more than that, right? Like.
So why can't you just accept that Vinny V is a guy, nothing more than that? And
you know who was a guy that I used to he was so irritating to watch. That was also in that kind of Vicente Padilla had a few years that was like that. Like he was an all-star.
That's because he threw the no-no. That's because he threw a no-no.
No, that was Kevin Millwood. Padilla.
I thought he threw one. It wasn't for us though. I thought it was like Texas or something like that.
I don't think Padilla, but Padilla went 8 no-hit innings for us at the Vet in 2002 against the Diamondbacks, and then his no-hitter got broken up with like 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Oh, why did I think he threw a no-hitter?
But Vicente Padilla in 2002.
I don't know. We've had a couple this year so far. Or do you think the Phillies are due for one?
Sure.
I mean, I'm not saying they're saying that any of these guys are capable of doing it at this point in time. I'm just saying we've already seen at least 2 this season already.
Nola and Wheeler definitely. Well, we've seen 4, 5 if you would count the Madison Bumgarner one. Even though
Georgia. They are looking good. Ben's not playing. Defense is looking good. It's still the Detroit Pistons. So you take that with a grain of salt. The White was looking good earlier. I think he dropped like 10 or more already. To Tobias look good. I'm liking the way the Sixers look. Me and Zach have been going over it here. I think if they no more injuries, no scares or anything like that. No more excuses. They should be the Eastern Conference champions. right? No more
Yeah,
excuses, right?
there's that was, but that's what I said. That's been the expectation since the beginning of the year, right? Like they've made deep playoff runs before. They've been right there. They nearly beat the Raptors to go to the finals a couple years back. Like that's all been like you've accomplished all that. Doc Rivers was brought in here, and the reason all this is put together the way it has been is because the expectations now are to take the next step and go win a championship. And Kutch is raking still 2 for 2 tonight. We had a line drive to right center, now one to left center. Attaboy, lead off single. Gotta love it. Good baseball.
Yeah, like I said, and then we got the Phillies are kicking it, the Sixers are kicking it. MMA's killing it right now. You got like I said, Gillespie and Ferreira going at it right now. Just freaking, these two guys are just grappling. Uh-oh. What the hell is Ferreira going for there? Like both their arms are tied up there. I can't get what either one of them are trying to do. Now they're back to their feet. That was just a weird exchange. Georgie, don't get Zach started, man. You can bring up flyers. You can get him started.
Nobody even cares.
Well, not about nobody. Chill with that. Nobody.
No, you want to know how look, the minute the all anybody talks about the Flyers now is how bad they are. That's all they're talking is shit. These Flyers stink. 2 months ago, 3 months ago, all I heard at the beginning of the year was how they were going to the Stanley Cup, and now they suck again.
George approves. So if you don't have a comeback for it, but if you're just throwing the Flyers and you just laugh to his response, then why do you pipe him up? I know we Philly 4 for 4, but come on, man.
I'm a Lightning fan.
Next year, next year, isn't that the line for Flyers fans?
Every year, and then they tell you how good. Look how good we're going to be this year. Carter Hart was going to be the next Marty Brodeur. Now we think fucking Jesus Christ. The kid's going through growing pains and people are losing their fucking minds. It's the Flyers are the biggest group of front-running fans like in the history of Philadelphia sports. Flyers fans are the biggest front-runners you'll ever come across. Ooh, base hit hit the second base bag. McCutcheon going the third. First and third, nobody out. They'll sit there and tell you how great the Flyers are. They'll sit there and
I'll say one thing.
Sold out when they're winning.
When you look at the outlook of this Phillies thing right now, and the way that they're playing against the division rivals, bro. You have to be a little bit more than happy to see how they're playing the Braves right now. How they how they played the Mets so far this season. So
come on, Bryce, this would be a big time to pop one here.
He's only had 6 so far this year, but
he's only got 10 RBIs. Oh, Jesus Christ. Swings at the first pitch. What the hell, Bryce?
Jesus.
And that's not like Bryce is that's he's never like.
Yeah, but it looked like he got on top of that.
Well, the pitch isn't even a strike, and he just that's not Bryce doesn't ever you know what I mean? It's over, just chase the pitch.
That was a little bit chasing. That was out.
It's like he was going to look for a first pitch fastball and attack it, and then he tried to swing at a pitch a foot off the corner.
It was like he was guessing, he didn't even read it,
Yeah, he just didn't see it the way he should have.
You can't let this go to waste here, JT. Cannot. Pass ball would have been nice. But I mean, again, how we're playing against the division rivals early is a good sign, right?
Yeah, no, it's always a good thing. I mean, that's at the end of the day. I mean, like that's how you win your division is by being able to dominate your division rivals. You can get away with not being good against the rest of the National League as long as you're beating your division rivals.
What is up, Christopher? How you doing tonight, my friend? There's a good one that we didn't go over yet. Albert Pujols being released. Where does he play now if he even returns to Major League Baseball?
He could end up with the Cardinals just for nostalgia purposes. I don't, somebody could be desperate for a DH and try to, sign him and bring him in, and just because you're Pujols, and we'll see what we get out of you. But I think, he didn't want to play. He didn't want to come off the bench with the Angels. I think the only team where he would think about doing anything of any kind like that would be the Cardinals, just because of Yadi Molina being there and Wainwright still being there and all these guys that he's very good friends with, and just obviously the history of all of it. I'm sure there's certain teams he would just be like, no, I'd rather retire than play for you type of thing too. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if it was that.
Yankees say come come the All-Star break and the Yankees have 5 guys in their lineup on the injured list. All of a sudden, that phone call might happen. You know what I mean? If Stanton and Judge both end up on the injured list for an extended period of time, a team like the Yankees might say, okay, yeah, But
JT struck out.
I don't, his career could very well just be over too. He could just be like, fuck it, like, because he's not just going to go play somewhere just to play. Like, he's going to want to be in a position that he likes and he's comfortable with, and he feels like he can play every day and contribute and things like that. Like, he's not just going to go sit on a bench somewhere to collect a paycheck. He's out with fucking Pujols,
So you don't think he tries to go to a contender outside of somewhere like a St. Louis?
Sure, he could. But it just all depends on the situation. Like, he's not just going to go. He's already got like a couple of rings. He's not just going to go like, sit somewhere. Oh, I need to be on a roster. Like, the dude's how old? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think if he likes the situation,
that would be a massive rumor, Thomas. Judge to the Angels.
Yeah, I don't really. Who would the Angels give up in that whole situation?
Don't you dare say it. Don't you even think it.
Well, they're definitely not giving up Trout. I mean, Trout's a way better player than Judge anyway. So the Yankees would have to give up Judge.
A whole player is quite of an understatement. Like a whole player, maybe even 2.
Yeah, like
nothing against Judge either. Just dude, like Trout's kind of like he does everything you want out of a baseball player. So I don't even think that should be an option. And who, again, like you said, who would he be trying to give up?
You'd have to go to a team that's got like an established young player plus like a really strong farm system. Like
Gregor Gillespie just stopped Diego Ferreira. Flattened him out, had his back, and just started raining down punches to the referee. Couldn't stop. He was running out of time. It was getting close. He was gonna ride out that round.
Here we go. Velasquez into the 5th inning. This is when it always gets ugly. I mean, it's funny we talked about frustratingly effective pitchers, and we didn't bring up the most frustratingly effective pitcher in Phillies history.
Which one?
The Wild Thing. Is the name Wild Thing literally for you got the name the Wild Thing? That's literally what it's all about.
I don't know if he was just frustratingly effective. I just think he was just frustrating.
Well, In '93, he was frustratingly effective. Yeah, he set the Phillies single season saves record while also like giving you like a single season record for migraine headaches. Like it was.
Well, I just always remember him hitting the game winning run in the 20 inning game in the Padres Hair Veteran Stadium that season. That was the one I'll remember. That's
That wasn't.
I'll remember him more. I remember Mitch more for that than any of his saves or anything like that.
That wasn't the 20 inning game. Lenny hit the walk off double in the 20 inning game. Mitch hit the walk off hit in the second game of the doubleheader that ended at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna get into this next segment, and we're gonna be joined by our guest for this evening. She is none other than UFC veteran and Invicta FC fighter and newly signed BKFC fighter, Miss Pearl Gonzalez. Pearl, how are we doing?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Oh, I'm awesome. How we doing tonight?
I'm having an amazing night. Tonight is one of the Serrano sisters' birthdays, which is why I'm here. I live here in New York now.
It's funny. I actually met them when they were shooting Fight Valley.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
So both my ex's daughter and my daughter got to meet them. We were on set, took some pictures with them. They're pretty cool. So when I heard that you started going up there and training, I'm like, oh boy, Pearl ain't playing games. She ain't playing games with these people. Because not just do you have that, because they also work with a whole lot of world class fighters. So obviously you moved on from the UFC. You're still with Invicta. Obviously the BKFC contracts here with you going over there. What's kind of the ultimate goal? Is it going to be an eventual transition over to boxing, bare knuckle boxing, and move away from MMA, or is it just you guys are all going to kind of hone all your skills and you are just kind of iron sharpens iron, so to speak?
Well, I think that obviously in any sport that I do, I'm here to compete and be the best I can be and take it as far as I can. So first and foremost, I'm not looking ahead of my next fight. It's to go out there, and obviously this is a brand new sport for me. So I want to go in there and display my skills. I have good striking. I've never really used it. I've always kind of went to my grappling and utilized my grappling. And so right now the goal is to get as far as I can in bare knuckle and hopefully on that strap. And from there we'll see what happens. Yes, I'm solely focused on boxing now. I'm not doing any grappling. I'm not doing anything other than boxing. Bare knuckle is my sole priority. That's why I moved out here, is to focus. I don't have family here. I don't have friends here. I have the team Serrano, and that's it. And so I train and I go home, and I'm kind of isolated right now, and I'm loving it because I have so much to learn from these women. They're incredible. Their skills, their boxing skills are amazing, and I just am so far behind that I have so much to learn and grow every single day. This is a blessing.
I mean, and you couldn't ask for a better person to kind of have around you too, with both Amanda and Cindy and Jordan and her whole team. They're just amazing people. Like I said, when I met them on set, absolutely amazing people. So like I said, you're always picking things up from them. Obviously, what wealth of knowledge. Now, obviously, Amanda just announced that she's going to be taking an MMA fight soon. So, obviously, she's going to be picking your brain a little bit as she's going to be going through some of the stuff that she's going to be preparing over the next coming weeks and months.
Absolutely, and that's the nice thing is right now we've been solely focused on my fight and preparing me for mine, and now that Amanda has this fight in front of her, it's time to add in and work on her MMA skills. And yes, I'm going to help out as much as I can in her camp and help her with what I can. We'll do my training separately and focus on bare knuckle and boxing and my skills, and then later on in the day we'll work on her skills. And yeah, that's why I came here. Like you said, iron sharpens iron. I've been in MMA 15 years, very long time. And, she's picking my brain as I'm doing with them. And Jordan is a phenomenal coach. It is so cool to be here. It really is.
Yeah. Over there in New York is, it's absolutely a rich boxing town right there. But now you're talking the things that you're getting ready for. Obviously, bare knuckle boxing keeps everything real close to the vest, like, especially when it comes to some of the premier fights there. But a lot of big signings have been happening. A lot of people been making suggestions and things of that nature. A lot of people think Britain and Christina Ferrari are going to go back at it again. Other people are making other assumptions. Paige is going to fight Rachel next. I really think, if you're asking me to guess right now, and I would actually like for that first matchup for you to be back is you to take somebody on like Britain Hart, because I actually think that it would kind of make more sense. I'm not sure what the weight is right there, but I actually think that would be a real fun matchup.
Yeah, well, I mean, any of the girls in the bare knuckle division right now are great matchups for me. And again, I'm here to test my skills. I'm not here to do anything other than be the best that I can possibly be. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for them to announce my opponent. But you've got a good guess.
I'll take it as that. Hey, listen, I know how it works. What's not said in between the lines kind of says what's in between the lines.
Exactly.
So, anyone who knows fight lingo knows what that means. Now, a lot of things have changed over the last few years. Even since like, I guess that first wave of the Ronda era of women's combat sports, and you're seeing the female athlete grow in so many ways, both professionally, inside the ring, outside of the ring. And you yourself are kind of somebody who taken to that own brand marketing and stuff like that. You're obviously some athletes go about it some ways. Each obviously do what's best for their brands. What are your kind of thoughts on it was a question we were asking last night on the women's roundtable. Do you think overall, do you think women's gonna control sports marketing as we grow over the next 10 years?
I don't know if we're going to control it. I mean, the men are incredible athletes, right? And
without a doubt.
The skills, you can never look past the skills. And I think that where I see it is yes, do we have an advantage in some sense? Yes, we do. We're women. We're beautiful. The most beautiful thing on earth, if you ask me, is a woman. But I think that men can pull from that and learn. Like, there's several ways to market. You've got ways where you've got like Jake Paul, who's doing the crazy stuff that he's doing, and then you've got a Conor McGregor who goes out there and kind of does what he does. And then you've got someone like myself who's I'm feminine, I'm beautiful, and I don't try to be anything other than what I am. And I believe that is the best marketing tool that you can have, is to truly be who you are and just be that 110%. If you're a big shit, excuse my language, if you talk a bunch of crap,
listen, we let it all fly here. You don't got to censor yourself. We let it all fly here.
All right, good. If you're a big shit talker, then hey, that's your thing. And then you have people like Usman, who doesn't really talk shit, but he shows it with his skills, and he goes out there in every single fight. He's making a statement and he's proving a point. And there's just different, but he's him, and that's him. And this is who I am. And I think that I wouldn't say that we are going to run the sports. I do believe that we are, the women's side of sports is rising. And I love that in my sport, MMA, it's equal. It's equal opportunity. Tonight we have Waterson and Rodriguez headlining a fight, and that's amazing for us as women, because especially
when you get to the smaller weight classes and when there's not a title involved. I think that's probably the thing that I would have to say if I'm a female, I'm holding my hat on to be like, hey, like this is This isn't a title fight. These aren't two big stars. I mean, obviously it's not a pay-per-view, but you get to continually see this on a consistent basis, and we're waiting for the days where we can I know people are calling it for bare knuckle boxing. I think it's a little premature to see full female fight cards. I know Scott Kent over Line Fight has talked about doing that for Muay Thai over there, especially that he wants to do something in Lumpy Stadium. I think that's going to be pretty cool. I mean, it's really cool kind of see how some of these things kind of evolve and move forward, and and you guys are at the forefront, and like you're saying, it's something you were just sitting there saying is being true to yourself, and you've been seeing a lot of that stuff going through your social media. Anybody who follows you think over this last year, you're really finding out who you really are, both as a person and an athlete, and kind of really just owning who that is, and kind of, we're over these next few fights and over the next year or so, we're really going to see who really Pearl Gonzalez is.
100%. I've had some life-changing things happen in my life these last couple of years. My father passing, and then I'm actually single for the first time in 10 years, and let me tell you, I am enjoying my life to the fullest. I'm just being who I want to be. I don't have to dull my light anymore. I don't have to, pretend to be or it is. I think that as you get older, you kind of start to accept yourself for who you are and get comfortable in your skin. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I love being sexy. I love being beautiful. And whether anybody likes it or not, you're going to see it, because that's what I enjoyed. That's part of what I enjoy being, aside from being an athlete.
Now, that being said, like, listen, dude, keep shining, my friend. Seriously, like anyone who don't like what you do or how you do it, for real.
Exactly. Right.
I mean, we see so many people have so many things to say about something. I'm like, listen, if that's what they want to do and they don't care what you think, what you feel, it doesn't matter. You could sit there and be the hater in the garage, mama's basement, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like you're not going to phase these people. Right. We've gotten to, like you were saying, you've been through so many things and realizing who you are. You've gotten to the point where it's just like, hey, I am who I am. If you don't like me, move on. I got so many other people in my corner who are supporting me. Why should it matter? And then and you guys, and you've taken it even further. Like we're like I said, you're into who you are as a female, and like you where some athletes are going OnlyFans, you've gone and taken it even further. You say, I got my own thing. You have to come to me. We're not going to you. You're coming to me. So, and you're one, I think, more of a handful of athletes that have done that over the past year, and that's even. I mean, if you ask me, isn't that a better way to kind of control the content as well, not just for monetization reasons as well?
Absolutely. I everything that I do, every decision that I make in my life is well thought out, and I think things through. I'm not just making impulsive decisions. And for me to do my fan time and do my exclusive content and do my own website, and this was well thought out for me, and this took me many years to think about, and it's just me expressing myself and being who I'm really comfortable being. And like, it's also like my wild, crazy 20s. I didn't have those. I was wifed up, and now I'm living my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, when you've been around people who've been in relationships like that, I completely understand where you're going through right now. So it's like, listen, you're going to be who you're going to be. Eventually you'll run into that person that'll stop you dead in your tracks, and you know how it's going to go. But we all get to know. Listen, exactly. I'm with you on that. Like, listen, when we get into those things, like, listen, I'm going to completely enjoy this time period of my life. Eventually somebody will come along and catch my attention to the point where I'll be like, okay, that might be a person we're going to slow this thing down for. But until then, like, listen, you're not just like a peak as a human being, as a person, but as an athlete as well. Like, listen, you have the perfect storm going for you right now. I really looking forward to seeing what happens both professionally, personally. Like you said, you're hooked up with them right now. Like, listen, I already know what connections that Jordan has. I'm really looking forward to seeing what could possibly come, post athletic career. Or we could see Pearl in some movies and stuff like that. And like, listen, like there's all kinds of opportunities for professional athletes along those lines these days, especially ones who want to do that. And I think you kind of have the personality that would cross over well, and plus the worth ethic that could make something like that happen. So, I mean, again, not to look too far ahead. I just listen, when you watch athletes for as long as I have it, you see people who have, the it thing. Some people have it, you're always going to rub people the wrong way and upset people, or some people are just are just going to light up a room. You're one of the people who no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you could be training or whatever, you find ways to light up a room.
Thank you.
I
don't try, but I love it. I do. I love it.
But see, it's not one of these things that is just about because you're a beautiful woman. It's also because of the fact that you're dedicated to your work. You're a major martial arts practitioner, and like I said, I think you have one of these skill sets. You could technically, want to be one of these fighters who could be one of these first ones that becomes a bare knuckle boxing champion and go back and go win an Invicta title, and then walk away from it all and start blowing up as a movie star like you see a lot of people do it these days. You never know. At some point in time, you could do the Roundup thing in the middle of it. Quit fighting altogether, become a mom, and then be like Misha and come back and be fighting again. It's all up to you. It's all up to what opportunities you want to take and what directions you want up taking your life in. At this point in time, we're the ones along for the ride. You're the ones showing us the movie.
Hey, I love it. And you're absolutely right. And it's one step at a time. This is what I've learned. As crazy as I am, I'm a woman and I can complicate shit, right? But as crazy as
I said it last night. We're all complicated. Like listen, women are complicated. We're also complicated in our own sense. Some people say we're easy, but also we find ways to complicate things too. Let's be honest, guys.
100. And I think that for me, I've just been trying to work on simplifying and then one step at a time and one thing at a time. And even MMA, now that I'm focused on one part of the sport right now, I'm like, holy shit, we as MMA fighters have ADHD. Like you have like an hour of here, and then you're an hour here, and then you're an hour here, and it's a lot. And I think that right now I've slowed my life down in so many ways in the training and the physical aspect of it, as well as even in socially. Like my life is training. I come home, I work on my fan time, and I do my social media stuff, and then it's rest, and then it's just all over again. And I'm loving it. I really am. And by the way, the pizza here is the shit. So I'm just pizza and bagels. That's my thing right now.
Make sure you make a trip down to Philadelphia and grab the cheesesteak too. You ain't that far.
Where are we? To Philly?
Yeah, you ain't that far from Philly. You might as well come down here for a cheesesteak. We can show you where to go.
I'm sure to do that.
And I'm sure Amanda and them know where to go. They've been down here. They should know.
I would love to do that. Like I have not really explored the East Coast at all, so I'm here for it. I'm here to try anything and everything. Everywhere I can explore as much, learn as much as I can on this side of the
well, you can always you guys can always double dip too. There's always training around here in the area. You can get boxing and you can get MMA and whatever. Like it's one of the things like people don't know, like when she's sitting there saying she's not from the East Coast, people don't know Pearl's from Chicago girl. How I came across Pearl was through our co-host Rachel Blaze back in the day. She used to cover you. She was so excited when I booked you. She thought I booked you on her show last night. So she's sitting there calling me, texting me. I'm like, you realize it's on the day after. It's on my show, right? So she's like sending me all these sad faces. So you better tell her I said hi. I'm like, she's like, I don't know if she remembers me or not. She's like, tell her I said hi.
Of course I do. So Rachel was actually one of the first people to interview me as an amateur. She came into my dojo that I was at since a child, Combat Do, and she was one of my first interviewers, and she was incredible. She's an amazing
woman,
and she's been through so much. She's so strong. Please.
Yeah, she's been through a lot.
No problem.
She's one of these people who life finds a way to keep beating her down. But people like me in her life, and people who are around her won't let it happen. She's been through a lot. She's still here, and I'm glad that she's with us and back to doing media, because she had some dark times in the last few years.
Yes, yes. She's such a strong woman. Please send her my love.
Oh, I will, dude. I'll see if I can link you two up, because she's been like, oh my god, I need to catch up with her. I was like, I'll see what I can do. I got you, Rachel. She's because she has so much going on, because Eden's about to graduate high school. Dustin's he's doing his bodybuilding and stuff like that. So she's got a lot of stuff going on top of everything else.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
much love.
Yeah, we're all doing our own grinds, right?
Absolutely, we're doing the best we can.
And speaking of which, after you getting done with me, the fights end, and you got your own show that you do on your own. How did you start your own podcast?
I was fortunate enough to just be linked up with TJ DeSantis. We had did a commentator on a show together. Icon, actually, and he was like, hey, I have Dean Thomas is unavailable, he's in Abu Dhabi, can you cover his show? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And so then I tweeted Dean. I had never talked to Dean Thomas before, and I was like, I'm stealing your job, Dean, you better watch out. And so I get on his podcast, and we do his podcast, and we hit like 765,000 views on that show, and they were like, holy shit. So I really did end up stealing his job. And he's on he's on a podcast with us, but that was kind of how it happened.
It's kind of like you guys flip-flop roles now. It's your show, and he's kind of just the guy there.
Absolutely, and I love it. I get there's nothing I love more than watching fights, being a part of the sport, and I think that I'm in a place in my life where no matter where I go, what I do, whether I fight or not, I'll always be a part of this sport. And that's such a good feeling, because I put so many years of hard work, of sacrifice into it. So to know that I'm here to stay and that I have a permanent spot somewhere in the sport is so rewarding for me.
Listen, you like you said, very few people know how long you've been here, the road you've traveled, you paid your dues. It's all starting to pay off, and like I said, it all in the right time. If you really ask me, I really think like this is your time, man. If you can really steal the shine, it's really the sky's up to you, man. Can you break the atmosphere? I don't know, can you?
Absolutely, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to mix shit all up here and just break down any wall or barrier that's in my way. That's what I've done my whole life, and that's what I'll continue to do, is just break down barriers and overcome obstacles and fucking just take the shine, take the lights, and shine bright. That's what I was born and destined to do, and that's what I'm going to do.
I think that's what you've done so far. People who haven't already tuned in. I think more will after the next fight, both with BKFC and whenever you do happen to step in the cage again. I don't want to keep you too much longer, because I know obviously you're running around in the area of New York. You got your show within the next hour or so. What I typically like to do right before we let you guys go is just throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone you want to thank, shoot out any sponsors, let everyone know where to follow you on social media, any charities you're working with, anything you want to say at all. Pearl, the time is yours, my friend.
Man, thank you so much, guys, first and foremost, for having me here on their show. Make sure you guys follow me at Pearl Gonzalez. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Pearl MMA on Snapchat. Definitely check out my exclusive fan time, which is Pearl's Paradise with a Z.com. It's super bomb. I got some super fire content, and I'm having so much fun over there. And big shout out, you can check out my podcast, Extra Rounds. We are live after most fights tonight. We're actually off, but at most fights we are on UFC Fight Pass, their Facebook page, live. And just keep up with me on all my social media. I keep everybody tuned in, and I'm hoping to have a fight announcement and who I'm fighting very, very soon.
Well, like I said, I hope my guess is right. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks if I'm right or not. I'm gonna start placing bets. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey.
Hey, well, Pearl, for again, appreciate your time. Again, extend the same thanks to your management as well. I'll also try. I'll message you Rachel's number so you guys can connect. She really wants to catch up with you. So we'll do that, and best of skill in all that. Keep doing your thing with Amanda. I cannot wait to see that debut, guys. BKFC. It don't matter if memory serves me. I think you're gonna want to be fighting in Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm fighting in Miami.
Say you got to go catch it, Zach. You got to go catch it, brother.
Bro, Miami's like 4 hours from me.
No, that's still not an excuse. It's bare knuckle boxing, brother.
What do you want me to go to Miami? Where is it? You know how expensive hotels are in Miami, bro? Like, what do you?
We'll figure it out, brother. Pearl, appreciate the time, my friend.
I'll sleep on the beach.
Best of skill. We'll definitely be in contact. Have a good one.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Everyone, that was Pearl Gonzalez. She's gonna be us. If you don't know who she is yet, go check her out. She like I said, she's amazing on every level. She's personable, beautiful. She's freaking. She's both MMA and bare knuckle boxing. Obviously, she was a UFC veteran here, and listen, we'll see what the future holds for him. I think it's the Bret Hart fight. I think the reaction said it all.
You see my reaction during that interview because Freddie Freeman hit a ball 400 feet to make it 3-1. And then we had a double switch. They brought in Sean Coonrad. And
well, I know the Sixers won. They won by like I think it was like 16 points. So
Sean Kingery Scott Kingery has come in.
Sean Kingery.
Might as well be.
Kingery is another one you have utter disdain for.
Scott Kingery has come in to play third, and they moved Alec Bowe over to first. So,
all right, turn the Phillies game back on. But what'd you think of Pearl, man?
She is gorgeous. I agree with David. She's definitely gorgeous.
Hey, man, you want to see how gorgeous she is? Go check out that site.
I mean, hey, I don't know if I'm that thirsty, but I'm just saying.
Why do you have to be thirsty?
Yeah,
it's called supporting the fighter's career, ain't it?
That stinks. Odubel Herrera just tried to bump for a hit, and he popped it up backwards.
I just seen it. Like I said, I'm about like 5 seconds off of you. But again, wait, you got to go back to this one. So why would be subscribing to her site being thirsty? I just
don't like. So I guess I don't need.
Well, no, I'm not saying they're saying any of us need it, but like at the end of the day, like, aren't you just supporting the athlete?
I guess. Depending on how you look at it.
I mean, yeah.
Supporting the athlete by looking at your titties as you shake them at me. I mean,
yeah, but most of them like have things like they're packages. You have T-shirts that go with the subscription and stuff like that, dude. Like, come on.
Okay,
I mean. Listen, dude, we've already been over this ad nauseum. Do fighters get paid nearly enough money for what they put out and the damage that?
No, I have no problem with. I think sex work of all kinds should be legal, homie. I'm the last person that's going to be like worried about what these people are doing in their free time. Like, you know me, bro. My libertarian views. I want drugs and prostitution and shit like that to be legal. Fuck any of that shit, man. It should all be 100%
like she said, man. She's just a flower opening her petals at this point in time, man. Just if she wants to do what she wants to do. She knows what she's doing.
Outside 3-2. They thought they had him on the 1-2 and it was outside by just a tad, and now the dude's all pissed off and it's 3-2.
It wasn't.
Come on, Odubel.
A tad. That didn't look
Well,
like a tad.
the 2-2 was way outside. The 1-2 right before that, no, they looked like they thought they had him. The catcher thought he had him struck out. He was ready to throw down the third on the 1-2.
Gotcha. So we're at, all right. So the Sixers have done it. It left us with the Phillies at the top of the seventh with about 20 minutes left on air or so, and there's an error.
That's going to be a hit.
You sure?
Yeah, because it was the reason he tried to barehand it. It was going to be a close play, so they're just going to give him a hit on it because it was going to be a bang bang play to begin with. That's a high bouncing ball with a double running. This is a ball that he might have no chance anyway, but they don't give him an error on that.
I don't know. Those first few steps out of the box was paid, but
I still think he's a good enough player.
What was that?
As soon as you saw the big chop, you heard me go, "Uh-oh!" Like I knew, that's going to be a tough play. Come on, Kingery, do something here. This is actually a really good move by Girardi, right? Bringing Kingery to bat ninth because you knew you had the pitcher spot coming up because they want to make sure they get a second inning here out of Coonrod. I wanted him to try to pitch
that batting average is just fucking horrendous.
I know. Well, you got to try to get him in the lineup, and get some things to happen here. But if you can't hit, you got to be able to bunt. I mean, what is it with big leaguers not being able to bunt? I mean, good Lord. There's 3 different guys trying to bunt today. None of them can fucking bunt. Come on, Kingery.
You think he's going to get anything done here? With that 111 batting average.
I mean, this is a good time. Like, hey, rip something somewhere. Holy shit. This would be huge to get him on base and turn the lineup over with the heart of the lineup coming up, including Bryce. Jesus Christ. Let me swing through a fastball. He stinks.
Who stinks now?
What's his brother's name? He's got a twin brother. I wonder if his twin brother's any better.
You sure it's not Jake?
It's not Sean either.
You can't tell me Kingery doesn't look like Jake.
You stink! Yeah, he's the guy.
What the hell?
If I was at a game in person, I'd be harassing the shit out of him. He does drive me crazy. I mean, he's pretty much useless at this point. Like, he doesn't do anything good. You're not even a good utility player. He could play multiple positions. Good for him. Jesus, Kutch. Way late.
So down to a 2-run lead. What about what? 2 innings to go. So does the poll question stay true at this point in time?
We play 9 innings in a baseball game. He didn't like that one. That's in. Let's go, rookie umpire wearing number 100 or whatever. That's how you know he's a rookie umpire. He's a call-up guy.
The look on Kutch's face says it all.
It's not a strike.
That's why he's like, I'm just going to let this one stew. He should have went.
Yeah. Knowing a double, he'd run into a fucking out by 10 feet.
Is there can we get a number on how many people you actually like on this team?
Every everybody that's not named Odubel or Scott Kingery. Go!
Or Vinny.
No chance. Oh, yeah, Vinny. Yeah, Vinny.
Pop up. I thought he lost it for a second.
But like I said, I don't hate Vinny V as a player. I just hate him in my rotation. I literally hate Scott Kingery as a player of all kinds. Like, I hate him.
The problem is we can't get rid of him. We're stuck with that contract. Gene.
Mean Gene Segura? Is that what you're going to call Mean Gene? Like Gene Okerlund?
Well, thank you, Colin, I think.
Yeah, I'm not real sure about any of that, but okay. Thank you. I know I am adorable, Colin, aren't I? With the hair, I'm girl pretty. What would they call in prison girl pretty?
Oh, Zach, I can't with you today, brother.
Like Ashton Kutcher in his prime.
Ashton Kutcher in his prime. Oh man, I can't with you.
It's like straight that '70s show, Ashton Kutcher. That's
I still like. Listen, we always get these.
Fucking Mila
we?
Kunis.
We always get these ones. Why do we always want the goofballs? I don't get it.
I mean, hey, you don't feel good. He called you cute. I thought that would make you feel good about yourself, Steven.
I mean, it would have felt better if he said it about freaking 10 minutes ago with Pearl still on. I would have felt less awkward. I'm like, oh, he was just talking about her, not us. It's not weird at all. Yo, the response, brother.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well then.
You walked into that one, started talking prison stuff, bro. What is prison girl cute? Zac Efron.
Is he girl pretty or is he just, I don't think he's girl pretty. I think women think that he's like this big, handsome man.
Big, handsome man. Is he even 6 foot? Is he even 6 foot?
I don't know. I know he's ripped. I know he's like
okay.
My wifey loves his body. He's got like whenever they watch Neighbors and he's got his shirt off on Neighbors, she loves it. He was in that Baywatch movie for a reason. I mean, the dude's in good shape. I'm built more like Justin Bieber and Ashton Kutcher put together. Nice. Good piece of hitting.
Oh, there you go.
Now we got Bryce coming up. Come on, Bryce. Damage time. Do some damage time.
Insurance runs. Where is the substance? What substance? What are you giving us, Ed? You breaking us down? What's up? Whew, that was real close to being snagged, too.
Yeah.
Freeman was snagged that.
Come on, Bryce.
I feel a pitch around coming here. Like, you know what? If anyone's gonna beat us, it's gonna be JP.
I don't know. I mean, do you really want to pitch around Bryce Harper to get the JP?
I'm not. Share the wealth, brother. Share the wealth.
And can you pitch it? So is Segura on first or second?
And it looks like it's first and third.
So it's hard to pitch around him now. First and third, you got to go after him.
Welcome loaded. Oh, Bryce, just sit. This dude ain't ready for it. He ain't ready.
Bryce is like licking his chops to get another. Like after that last at bat.
Absolutely, yeah. This is from Philly. I'm from Philly. Zach's from Florida.
Well, I'm initially from Philly. I just live in Florida.
But we're all from Philly. Let's see the next pitch goes. You're gonna freaking lose his handle on this one too.
He's frustrated. Like you could tell. Look at the little expression he does after. He's frustrated with the fact that he's not.
He's not seeing the ball right now.
I don't know if it's just not seeing or if his timing. It seems like it's a timing thing with him right now. His timing just isn't what he wants it to be.
No, we're not brothers. I mean, we're show brothers.
The city of brotherly love. Of course, we're brothers.
I mean, there's no way we could be brothers. You see his beard length and my beard length. It's just I can't grow it like he does. He makes fun about me all the time.
Come on, Bryce.
George thinks he's trying too hard right now. I don't think he's trying too hard. He just needs to slow things down just for a minute.
Outside. 2-2. Come on. Let's go. Square one up here. Get your timing down and square one up. Nice little base hit even to make it 4-1. You know?
Just some insurance here, Bryce. Yeah. Come on.
Rip a ball in the right center field for a base hit. Breaking ball away.
Gonna go out there again. Bryce, why would you?
He's just struggling. You could tell, and he knows it too. Like that look on his face is one of like, I'm lost up here right now. He's in one of those little funks that he goes through. He'll be all right.
Oh, I'm not worried about. Bryce is one of those guys you don't worry about, you know. I mean, you have to be encouraged.
He's going to get hot. And the thing was, he was getting hot, and then he got hit in the face, and it just completely cooled him off, right? I mean, like it was really that was the reality of the situation. My man was red hot. And how do you cool off somebody that's red hot? Well, you throw 97 to the dome, right? That'll help. That'll be a good way to cool somebody off in a hurry. They might be pressing up there a little bit too. You know what I mean? Like guys,
Dave, you're not gonna get Zach to go anywhere at this. He's gonna say and.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're all so excited for the NHL on TNT.
He's more excited for the NBA on TNT.
I'm more excited for AEW on TNT. Did you guys see Blood and Guts? That was awesome.
Exactly, George. This is what we're talking about, man.
Listen. What y'all don't understand, though, is that breaking ball looks like a fastball that's going to be like thigh high, and then it breaks about 6 feet in the final 10 feet, on its way to the plate. So, of course, what's he swinging at? As somebody that's seen some of this nasty shit firsthand as an umpire, you'd be surprised at just how filthy some of this shit looks as it comes in. You're like, oh, that's why guys swing at that. Like, I used to say the same shit, and then I saw some of this shit firsthand. You're like, oh, that's why a guy's swinging at it. That thing broke 6 feet in the final, 10 feet that it got to home plate. Like, it looked like a fastball that was going to be, just above the knee for the first 50 feet, and then it breaks 6 feet in the final 10. And a guy's swinging way over top of it, and you're like, what's he swinging at? You're like, it's fucking nasty-ass pitch is what it is. It's the big leagues.
Are you worried about Simmons' back issues that are still reoccurring here?
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I'm worried about it as much as I'm just like, it is what it is. Simmons is. Sometimes you think that he wakes up and he just doesn't feel like playing. He's like, my back's hurting. Like,
must have had that Kardashian riding him too hard, threw his back out.
Is he still dating her?
I don't know. I was just assuming. I don't pay attention to who they dated. Just they talked about it so much. So. So they got out of it. 41 bottom of 7th.
What are we talking about here? That's a very in-depth conversation.
Yeah, I think they're getting ready to make some switches, I think. That's what that's gonna be.
They're probably saying, okay, we want to go this arm first, and then if we get to this part in the lineup, we're going to go here.
Good to hear the Philly accent. Not he doesn't hear it here in Idaho. Well, keep tuning in, Ed. Keep tuning in.
Idaho.
Of course, the coffee's awesome.
Coffee. It's coffee.
What's wrong with the coffee?
That's how we say it in Philly. It's coffee. Along with the radiator and the water. It ain't a radiator, Steven. It's a radiator.
Radiator.
The only place that anybody says radiator is Philly. That's the only place we say it. You see how crazy people think it is down here when I say it. They're like, what? It's a radiator. I was like, in Philly, we call it a radiator. They're like, what is wrong with you guys?
So I went to mechanic school, so I had gotten that beaten out of me. The radiator. Or some other Philly puns that we can drop upon Ed.
Does anybody find it a problem that this kid's wearing 25? Christian Pache. Like, what do you think you're Andrew Jones? You kind of look like a young Andrew Jones. Such a wannabe. Though. Like, Andrew Jones should be a Hall of Famer, and we're over here giving his number to rookies.
Oh, man, we're going to start this argument. There we go. Here it is. The argument at the end of the night, my friend. Nice. So,
look, Scott Kingery actually did something productive. Look at him smiling. He's like, I did something. He's looking at his teammates like, look, I actually did something good. Look how excited he is. He actually did something productive.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up, boy, Scotty. That really earned that $26 million contract.
So, George said, I heard the best place for Philly cheesesteaks is Angelo's. This is here to start an argument. Weighing in, Zach, or no?
The best place to get a cheesesteak down here in Florida is down by the shore. What is it called? Tommy knows the guy that owns it. It's Mike Grilakis owns it. Went to school with Tommy.
Well, no, he said in Philadelphia.
Well, I don't know about Philly. I don't eat up there anymore, but I can tell you this place is phenomenal. It's the best cheesesteak I've had since I've been down here. It's even better than 90% of the places I had cheesesteaks up in the Philly area. That's how good it is. So if you're down in the Melbourne, Florida or Cocoa Beach, Florida area, you're going to have to try it out.
Colin wants to know where Florida you from.
I live in Lakeland, bro. I'm from the Philly area, man. I grew up and spent my entire childhood up there, and I lived in the Philly area for like the first 25 years of my life. I live in the Lakeland, Florida area now. I'm about 30 minutes from Tampa and 40 minutes from Orlando.
And Ed, yes, Pat's is still open. It's a tourist attraction. Jersey Mike's in Florida.
Jersey Mike's is garbage. Jersey Mike's is just a chain restaurant. Like, I mean, like, I'd like a Jersey Mike's sub, but that's just no, like, that's not. We're not, you know, that doesn't even belong in the conversation as far as best cheesesteaks and shit like that goes. The place is called now you're gonna make me go search it up and look for it so I can tell everybody.
Colin's from South Jersey's in Sarasota.
Okay, Sarasota. I'm with you. I umpire out there sometimes.
Well, Acuna just basically got hit twice.
Really?
One brushed him.
His hand.
Yeah, it might be. The first one brushed him, and he like tossed his bat. And that one, he was like mid swing, and it just started coming. It started breaking.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. Look, he knows something's fucked up too.
That's listen. You can not like guys, man. That's not what you want to see ever. And that wasn't intentional either. That definitely was not intentional.
No. It's called Straight Out of Philly Down the Shore. That's what the Italian place down here in the Melbourne. There's one in Melbourne and one in Cocoa Beach down here in Florida. Straight Out of Philly Down the Shore. Let's see. Oh yeah, right on the knuckles. Oh yeah, he probably broke some fingers.
Yep, that's foul show.
What are they looking at to see if it's a foul ball or what?
I don't know.
Yeah, they must be looking at to see if it was a foul ball. It clearly hit his hand.
Oh, to make sure it didn't hit the bat.
Yeah.
Because you know how it is. It might have hit his hand, but if it hit the bat, it's a foul ball. So John was like, they don't got no cheesesteak places here in Dallas. I feel for you, brother. Order it.
Yeah, Straight Out of Philly Down the Shore. I ate it had it in Melbourne, Florida. Tom Arnone, our boss here, went to high school with the guy that owns the place, knows the guy very well and his whole family, and it's by far the best Italian food I've had down here. It's just crazy some of the stuff. Like you just got to be like, oh, like Italian food down here compared to Italian food in the Philly area. Like you just got to accept the fact that most of the places aren't going to be anywhere near as good. But there's a reason why
it's on Straight Out of Philly. What was it on? It's on FX2, right?
It's on FS1, yeah.
Because he's saying it's on ESPN. It's still on the major network right now, Ed. You should be able to watch it.
Yeah, it's on national TV, FS1.
You're good, man. Well, as long as you have your at least your basic cable package, I believe. Fox Sports 1 should be a part of that. So.
Yeah.
Last few minutes here before we get ready to wrap things up for this week. Anything we want to touch on before we get ready to start the process of winding it down? No problem, brother. No problem. That's what we're here for. Spread the information. Let our Philly fans know what's up. For the fan, by the fan.
Yeah, it's the Phillies. You know, that's last night they. Beat them bad, right? They give us like all these games as of late over the past month. It's all been like edge of your seat, like pull your hair out type games, except for last
blowouts.
Night.
We've had a couple. We've had a couple blowouts.
Like last night was the only laugher where you were like, "Woo!" Like, yeah, man, I can relax the entire time type of thing. It seems like every other game has gotten way too close for comfort. You're like, why and how did this game get so close? Like. How many of those games have we had as of late where, you have a 3 or 4 run lead and next thing you know, you're winning by a run trying to hold on to it. And you're like, how the hell did this happen?
So, couple things
that I do here. I love this guy.
What up, Ario?
Jose Alvarado. I think he should be our closer at some point.
With a 4 ERA in 11 games.
Well, it's a small sample size. He walks too many guys at the moment, but the dude throws 100. He's electric, and he's got that shutdown mentality. Like
John,
you acting like a 4 ERA is terrible. Like it's not. That's like that's like having one outing where you got blown up, and then the rest of your outings are pretty good at this point.
John,
11 games in, that means you had like one outing where you gave up 3 or 4 runs in an outing, and then like it inflated your ERA and made it look a lot worse than it is.
John, it is 3-1. Bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. They have runners on first and second.
Wait, it's Bones Jones. Is that Bones Jones here?
Well, it's not spelled correctly if it is.
That's all. Well, why would he spell it correctly? He's trying to stay under the radar.
Any problem, Ed? You take care too, my friend.
Dude, watch how filthy this 0-1 pitch is.
0-2 wasn't that bad either. Ed said, "How old's the pitcher, Alvarado?"
How old is he's only like 25 or so. He's young.
Yeah, but I guess I'm gonna give this kid another few days to claim it. But if I don't get a response in the next few days, I guess we're gonna put that West Chamberlain jersey back up, and we'll do some fun stuff like I said on the athlete spotlight. Anyone who does super chats, from now to the end of the month, I'll enter you in to do some drawings for a giveaway.
Good pitch. Damn it. How about the Flyers in typical Flyers fashion, choking away another one late? They had a 1-0 lead on the Capitals in the third period, and of course they lost 2-1. Oh man, gotta love it.
Didn't the Phillies blow some leads this week too?
Who cares? We're not talking about the Phillies.
I'm just saying you're ragging on the Flyers and the Phillies.
Because that's what the Flyers do. This is what the Flyers do consistently, and they've been doing it my entire life.
You see that snag from the old man?
Exciting for the Flyers.
Did you see that snag from the old man, brother?
Let me get excited for the Flyers, only to watch them break my heart for the millionth time.
You think they're gonna get out of this jam here because there's Freddie Freeman, right?
Oh yeah, we'll get out of the jam.
Not throwing pitches like that, you ain't.
Yeah, you're fine. This is what happens when you throw 100 miles an hour. Sometimes they get away from you. It's all good.
Yeah, especially when it's hot out, right? Because it's so hot out there.
And Freddie Freeman's the batter. You're trying to make a perfect pitch, 2-2. Fastball up. See?
And the inning.
And that time he just beat him. Like he just overpowered him. Like I'm just going to throw a fastball belt high and let's see what you could do with it. And he just overpowered him. A weak bouncing ground ball to first base. See, like when he's all like Alvarado's problem is control. He's a little bit all over the place sometimes. And when he gets really bad and he's way all over the place, it just, it leads to too many walks and guys getting home. And that's when he gets in the trouble. But outside of that, but when you think about it, that's what you want your closer to be. That's your closer, the guy that throws 100 miles an hour that can be effectively wild sometimes. But at the end of the day, he just shut down the Braves' best hitter. You know what I mean? You just you brought him into the game with 2 outs to square off against the Braves' best hitter in a situation in the game where he's the go-ahead run, right? Like if he squares up 100-mile-per-hour fastball and hits it 450 feet, the Braves have the lead, right? So he comes in and not only does he get him out, but he gets him out easily. Right? It's a little weak ground ball to first base. You need a guy like that in your bullpen. That he's going to be a big pickup by the end of this year. We're going to see how valuable he is. You know who we really need, bro? Who we're really missing right now is Archie Bradley. I mean, he literally played for a week with us. It was such a huge signing in the offseason. And you want to talk about that middle relief guy. He's that guy. You know what I mean? He's the shutdown guy that can pitch for you in the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, whatever you might need it to be. And he just hasn't been healthy for us, except for that first week of the year or whatever it is. But once he gets back, you got to love, this bullpen a hell of a lot more. You feel so much more stable with it than you do right now. You can't tell me guys like Coonrod haven't been a pleasant surprise.
Oh, absolutely.
That's going 100 miles an hour and he's got an ERA of 1. I mean, yeah, it's a pleasant surprise to find guys like that in your bullpen that are getting guys out for you. Where was that guy last year when we needed him? Holy shit.
Ed's giving you some love. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you do as much baseball and watch as much baseball and as some of the guys here on A2D does. You wouldn't be.
I have a play-by-play background, Ed. Some of the earlier A2D radio days, I've done a lot of play-by-play work. I did some play-by-play for basketball, baseball, some football. And even go back to when I was a teenager, I did it when I was in high school and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know if that's what you're coming across as, but my voice does have a way of projecting in that way sometimes because I have done it quite a bit in the past. And when I
And
find
he's not
myself
going to
on
lose the
air-
accent either, Ed. Leave the accent alone. Accents is what makes people, man.
Yeah, I mean,
don't
the
mess with
accent,
people.
that just gives away where I'm from, you know what I mean? That just gives away the region of the country that I'm from. But yeah, I mean, I've been told it's funny when I work at Wawa and I'm at the register, I'll have people every once in a while that'll come in and they'll have a conversation with me. And as they go to leave, they tell me that I should work in radio and things like that. And I laugh and giggle because obviously I do. But you know, oh, you should work in radio. Like, yeah, I know I've gotten that plenty in the past. There's a way us, Steven, you know, there's a way us guys that like when we do this, like there's just when you're doing a podcast, when you're live, when you know there's a microphone there, there's a different way that you have your voice project as opposed to, you know, maybe your everyday life when you're normally talking with people, and it just becomes a natural thing.
There's a difference between talking and yelling.
Yeah,
we do a lot of both on here.
I'm just naturally loud. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even realize how loud I am sometimes, but I feel like even when I'm talking under control, even when I'm talking normally, my voice carries and projects in a way that normal people doesn't. That's what happens when that's what all of us do here at A2D. We focused all of our time and so much time on getting so good at this. That's what happens. It just happens by accident.
Well, this show didn't happen by accident, but we're getting to the end of it and getting ready to wrap it up. We'll be back, again next week on the 15th. Have another fun guest lined up for you guys. We'll be talking some fights, talking some Phils, definitely talking some Sixers. We didn't really have too much Eagles news to talk this week. Probably another, a few more weeks before we get really ramped back up into some football talk. We'll see if any big moves happen over the next few weeks. Other than that, really appreciate all the fame in the chat. Ed and George were killing it tonight. Going back and forth with us.
Oh, come on, JT. Let's fucking go. Now that's bad. 3-2, and you're swinging out a fastball at your ankles.
And obviously, Zach isn't done getting his frustration out about some of these Phillies inconsistencies at times. Love him, hate him.
JT's better than that. You know what I mean? We just know JT's better than that.
But I'm sure the in this very ring, guys, will be going live in any moment. And other than that, we'll see you guys next week. I'm Steve. He's Zach. It was another episode of the Weekly Roundup. Catch you